in espousing or expanding on them. And yeah, you were brilliant. And I said that.
Well, I appreciate that. I feel like it's resonating with caregivers. I feel like it's really, they're able to connect with our examples and just I hopefully learn from some of the struggles that we've both faced and then be able to, kind of navigate their own caregiving journey in a less stressful way.
A cool name. Sometimes that really drives you to take some action when you land on an awesome name and you're just like, I guess this is going to be a thing, right?
Yes. Yes, we
And
intend to move forward with it.
and another awesome name is Island Treasures, all the way from beautiful Western Pacific Northwest Canada.
Yeah.
I don't want to give your exact location because all your fans will just be flocking right to the beautiful island. But that kind of gave it a little way a little bit. But the two of you, I guess the question, because I think I know the answer to this question, but the two of you probably met through the caregiving circle.
How did we meet, Allison?
I think through certified caregiving consultancy. And then when I launched the podcast, I was there like, Teresa. I was drawn to you from the start.
Yeah, it feels like we've known each other forever.
Yeah.
Right, and it's kind of a testament to this whole network of caregivers is that while we may not really know each other right off the bat, we understand where we've been, we understand our stories, and we're able to connect with like-minded people, and that's why it's kind of great to have the two of you on at the same time because that's kind of an example of what we've really tried to create on the Whole Care Network.
Well, working together.
Working together. So goodness. So I'm going to put this question to both of you. Are you going to do another podcast together? Or
We talked about doing a road show.
Doing a road show? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get to just kind of put the self-care practices into practice, where we can talk about just all the things that we were sharing, but then doing them, most of it in nature, and some things we have in common. We love paddling and being out in nature. So yeah, we might.
And Allison, you're still going strong with Island Treasures.
Oh my goodness, yes. I am in awe of what I do. I'm in awe of caregivers. They're my heroes. And today being National Caregiver Day, it's Appreciation Day, Recognition Day. Yeah, I'm in awe. Every caregiver is my hero. And I haven't got a huge personal caregiving story, but the longer I'm in this, I realize that I have had more caregiving experiences than I realized. And it's interesting. I love podcasting, and I don't know if it's because I actually love the podcasting or if I love highlighting caregiver stories. I think it's probably both, and they're married together. But yes, podcasting is my thing. And Chris, you've made it even better since I became affiliated with the Whole Care Network. It's just even more credible and important. And I love what I do. And I have met amazing people. And I pinch myself because I can't believe some of the people that have come on as guests. And even from the very first guest, he was my hero because he said yes, and we both didn't know what we were doing. And yeah, I actually just went and redid I re-edited his episode because I didn't know what I was doing. And it was a story worth telling, and it was called A Love Story.
And that's what caregiving really is kind of all about. It's all about a love story. So I can't thank you enough for being a part of the Whole Care Network and your kind words and bringing your talents and skills to help family caregivers. We really appreciate your presence.
Well, thank you, and thank you all for what you're doing and for keeping the podcasting going and applying my knowledge as a retired social worker. Just really is a great platform for me to just keep my skills working for folks. So.
I have to tell you, Allison, you're not retired. You've just adjusted your work schedule to do something that you really enjoy to help other people, because that's what social workers do.
Well, I remember telling you at the very beginning, Chris, that I think as an older person now, I finally found what I was meant to do.
As I get to 66 tomorrow, I get that 100%.
Thank you guys
So
so
good.
much for coming.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming, and we'll Teresa, we'll see you a little bit later, and that concludes our podcasting session. And I'm going to turn it over to Kim and Emilia, even though they don't know this, so I can fix one of the live streams.
Bye, guys. Thank you so
See
much.
you.
Bye. No, this is a perfect segue. The podcasting segment is over, but please stay tuned because we're now getting into the time where we get to talk about the other part of Whole Care Network, which is the brand new Whole Care Network University, WCN-University, which we have been working so hard on to put together. Really and truly, WCN-University is absolutely a labor of love that we have created because we knew it needed to exist. You know, sometimes you come across a need or you have an idea and it becomes apparent to you that you have to do it because it must be done. And you can't wait around for someone else to do it. You can't wait around and say, this isn't my responsibility, because you realize, one, if you have the wherewithal to actually do this thing and help solve this problem, and two, because you have that wherewithal, it's now your responsibility to go ahead and do it, and there really isn't a choice. And WCN-University is very much one of those things, although often it doesn't feel like work, it doesn't feel like an obligation, because this is something that we're all really passionate about. So let me tell you a little bit about what WCN-University actually is. Basically, it started with this idea that wouldn't it be great if instead of having to ask Dr. Google or scour the ends of YouTube to find information that they needed, wouldn't it be great if family caregivers could go to one single place where they could get reliable information that really addressed all four of the pillars of care that Whole Care Network talks about, you know, the social, spiritual, financial, and physical pillars. And they can go to that one site and get access to reliable information from experts on those different subject matters. And you know, that's really the foundation of what we wanted to build. On the other hand, we also wanted to create a platform for these experts in these subject matters where they could come together and truly collaborate to actually really meaningfully serve the mission that we all want to serve, which is to provide real, helpful, practical, actionable information to family caregivers. And truly understanding that, again, as I said at the beginning of this live stream, the same way that family caregivers can't do it on their own, it takes a village. We as content creators, as experts in our fields, we can't do it all on our own either. It does take a team. So I think that what I personally am most excited about is, you know, I have lots of courses on the university, but that doesn't necessarily mean that what I have is going to be what someone needs at that time. But someone could come there and they might initially be drawn to WCN-University because they saw some content that I said. But when they're there and they're interacting with me, I can say, "Oh, I don't think you need me. I think you need this other person. I think you need Dr. Lamb. I think you need Teresa. I think you need whoever it is." So we really, really can work together as a community. Hold on, let me do time check here. I'm trying to be responsible with my time, Kim.
I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you. So what does this look like? How can family caregivers access WCN-University and the experts and the content there? It's pretty flexible for you. It's also really simple. So you can go to the website, WCNUniversity.com, and you can access information in a couple of different ways. One is you can go directly and you can search through the course topics that are available. And listen, We have a lot of experts on the site already. We're going to be having more joining, and there is going to be more courses and content that's constantly going to be on there. So if you go and you visit it today and you don't see what you need, let us know. Let us know, and we will do our best to try and bring that to you there. But so you can go there, you can search the courses and topics, you can look at the experts. We have a listing of our experts, and you can even search for courses that are from that specific expert. It's really easy to do. You can take that course 24/7, whatever time of day. We really have tried to design this to make it easy to access in the way that family caregivers need to access information, which is on their schedule, right? Not on ours. So you can take these courses 24/7. We try to make them as affordable as possible, so as many people as possible can access these in the way that works for them. Or the other way that you can access information at WCN University is by becoming a member of our family resource community. That's really easy to do. And what we try to do when people are joining as members, the goal is to offer you a curated experience. You can join the community. There's a lot of different discussion forums in there, and you can go into those forums. You can ask questions. You can ask for resources. You can interact with other caregivers, but you can also interact in that forum directly with the experts that we have on the site. And let us help you get directed to the appropriate resources that we have on the site from there. We're also going to be hosting live events at least once a month. We're going to feature at least one of our experts to come on and provide some educational information, talk about the resources that are there, and really make it a valuable community to you. The other thing that's great if you sign up as a actual family resource community member, if you're a family caregiver, is not only do you get access to the community, but you will also get enrolled into 3 courses immediately. One is Family Care Essentials from the great, yes, Chris MacLellan, that's right. One is from Kim Wider, and I don't know if you want to talk about that at all.
About it whenever I have my piece, but it's just
all right.
They get some courses right away. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other one is one of my most popular courses, which is all about how to reduce the amount of lifting that you're doing if you have someone who requires physical hands-on care. So that's something that you can get. It's really easy to do. It's literally $2 a month in order to access that community and those resources. So if you're looking to save time, if you want the most value out of it, then that's generally, a great way to start to access that information and interact with the community. Definitely, if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I'm an expert in this and I want to join, I want to be a part of this collaborative, I want to support other professionals and I want to support family caregivers, there's a link on the footer of the website too, where you can fill out a form and request to be contacted by us to see if maybe you can also join as a collaborator at WCN University, because it really does take a village, and we want to provide the most holistic services possible that are really representative also of the diverse family of family caregivers that we serve.
I need a teenager.
You need it. Are we having some tech problems here?
I have to apologize to everybody. I'm not. It doesn't seem like I'm getting the LinkedIn feed working correctly, but YouTube and Facebook, from what I can see, is working correctly. So technology, just that's why you need a teenager sometimes. Yeah. But I'm sorry I interrupted you on your.
Oh no, that's okay. We're probably going to have our first course creator expert joining us soon. But before that, I want to give a quick thanks to the folks who are sponsoring us here today, Connected Caregiver and Sociavi. So Connected Caregivers app launched this week, guys. And here's the deal. If you want to have all of your caregiving stuff on one app, of course you do. Like, one place is better than lots of places, right? So you can, using their app, you can communicate with your care team. You can have a calendar with appointments and tasks. medication lists. You can even upgrade in order to monitor your loved one's stability, their blood pressure, their weight, and more. And the app actually pushes notifications directly to your phone, so you are always in the know, which is totally incredible. Honestly, y'all, this is like life-changing, game-changing stuff for the family caregiver world. And for a limited time, because the app they're just launching it, they're celebrating it now. For a limited time, you can try it for 2 months totally free. So make sure you are checking out connectedcaregiver.com to take advantage of that if that's something that sounds like it would be great for you. And honestly, it's pretty great.
Pretty great.
Now, when it comes to communicating with your loved ones, how great would it be if you had a device that had no account set up for them? It didn't have a username or a password, and for you, all you did was install an app on your phone, the Sociavi companion app, and that from there you could send pictures, you could send videos, you can have live face-to-face video visits with your loved one, and you could also send them reminders and alerts, and your loved one doesn't need to do anything. This is the beauty of it. The device that your loved one has is just an incredibly simple and large touchscreen. It's really easy, and frankly, of course, we all need more ease when we're caring for folks. So definitely check that out at sociavi.com. That's spelled SOCIAVI. Sociavi.com. And thanks again to both of our sponsors who have some pretty incredible offerings here today.
Talk about. I'm so excited for Whole Care Network University and all of the course creators that you're going to interview today. People consume information in different ways. Like sometimes you just want to hear those incredible stories that like heal your soul, and you can listen to hundreds of podcasts, pick out the one that really speaks to you. And then sometimes you like need to learn some stuff. And so to go take some courses that were written by people who are experts in different areas of care, I'm so excited that we get to offer both to caregivers, and they can find exactly what they need and how they like to consume it. And then for all of our leaders that we support, like they get to put content out there in the way that they shine best. Maybe they're amazing podcasters. That's not me, but I love to develop educational courses, so to be able to be a course creator and put education out there is where I can shine a little bit better. And so we're supporting like on those both sides, and that makes me incredibly happy.
Yeah, and we have already a great group of experts on the site. We have multiple social workers, and like social workers, just thank you. If you're a social worker and you're listening to this right now, thank you for your profession. You really do help to
existing.
Thank you for existing in the world. You make the world go round, and you're usually underappreciated. So thank you very much. But we have multiple social workers. We have a speech therapist who just signed on. We have my occupational therapy content. We have an ER physician, Dr. Brittany Lamb. Her course for people who have for people to help make medical decisions when they're caring for someone with dementia. Like, it's incredible. Her course is there.
And she has a discount code, right?
And she does have a discount code.
Yeah,
yes.
For people to see. We'll make sure everybody gets that. But wow, what incredible information.
Yes, honestly, it's so good. We have a physician assistant who does medication management, education, and hopefully she'll be joining us here later today. I'm sure we have multiple certified care consultants. Elizabeth Miller is on, who I hearts for eyes always. Honestly, there are just so many great people on this. Oh, we even have yoga for caregivers on the site. That's there already. And this is just what we're starting with. This is just what we're starting with. So there is going to be so much more that's coming to the site as resources for family caregivers. It's also just really it's just a great group of people. It's such a wonderful community of expert contributors that have come to the site, and really coming with this collaborative mindset where, if we all work together, then we can all do more for this group of people that it's so important to serve, and that's family caregivers. And it looks like we have Lauren joining us now.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, not sure where my camera is. I don't know. It's not showing up.
Well, it
You
almost,
sound fantastic.
you sound great. Yes, yes. And that's the most important thing. Do you want me to give you a second to see if you can figure out your camera, or are you ready to jump right in and start chatting here?
I'm ready to chat. I just feel bad that the camera's not on.
Technology, friend and foe.
You got it.
I'm experiencing that right this minute, so I get
Oh,
it.
Yeah. There are three things that I like to say friend and foe, like gravity, friend and foe, friction, friend and foe, technology, friend and foe.
yeah,
Um, All right, so let's jump right in here, though. So just give us, for people who don't know you, can you kind of describe how you came to be on your mission to serve family caregivers?
absolutely. I started working in hospitals and hospices as a licensed clinical social worker, and over time, it evolved into working with caregivers primarily as my husband became disabled, and then the programs for hospitals and hospices, recognizing that caregivers were the ones who were most often ignored, neglected, and knowing that they needed to be seen and heard.
Mm-hmm.
And the people who need to see and hear them the most are themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So how to do that except to find a way to give them a voice.
And you have a course available at WCN-University now. Would you talk a little bit about like what kind of information people could find in that course?
So the course is about ending guilt. How many times do we do things strictly out of guilt? We feel guilty that somebody will feel bad. We feel guilty if we're doing something and somebody else isn't participating. We feel guilty that we don't have enough hours in the day, and how that impacts our choices and decisions. So the truth of the matter is we can learn that it's not our feelings that get us into trouble, but our actions.
Mm.
And when we give power to feelings that undermine or sabotage our overall health and well-being, we undermine our relationships. So the course that I'm offering right now for free to caregivers and those people who just do things primarily out of guilt or obligation, putting somebody else's needs above their own, it's a way to shift that. And it's an important step we can take toward taking back our lives and learning to take as good care of ourselves as we do of those we love.
What's that course called, Lauren?
Guilt Detox.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really powerful information. Can I just say, like, I think that's not just powerful for family caregivers. I think that's powerful for
Humans.
humans. Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
And while there are an increasing number of men who are caregivers, either for parents or their spouses or loved ones, it's still a predominantly female environment, and women who are 50 and above have been raised to, actually have been taught to take better care of others than we do of ourselves. And men who may fall into the caregiving category by a crisis, by a sudden onset of an illness, are launched into it and don't know how to navigate those responsibilities.
Sure.
So
And I studied caregivers. They say top 3 emotions, guilt's in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
We could literally do a whole 2-hour or maybe a whole semester live stream probably on guilt.
Whole semester.
Um,
semester.
A semester
Let-
at
let's-
least.
let's do
Master's
it.
degree.
Let's do it.
But Lauren, I'm wondering if you would tell us a little bit about why you're excited to be part of WCN University, because we're really excited that you are a part of it.
thank you. Yeah, I think the whole concept of WCN, the whole care network, offering not only courses, articles, podcasts, but resources to get support, guidance, and encouragement for people who are finding themselves in a space that, as much as there may be 50 caregivers in the United States alone, every caregiver feels isolated and alone and like I'm the only one. And this is having a place to come to get connected, to feel that community. And I guess one of the blessings, for lack of a better word, that has occurred since the pandemic is that people are looking for virtual connections when they can't get them in person, either because they feel like they can't leave home, they can't leave their loved one alone. So having a place to come in person gives them a feeling of lessening their isolation, and that's an awesome service. So I like to be part of that, where you can expand your reach. I would love to have more people in the group that I offer. So it's a way to take a step, put your foot in the water a little bit to see what can we do differently so we can feel better about ourselves and taking care. And it has to start from feeling like we have value, we have worth, we have a connection for ourselves. So that's a big part of why joining with Christopher and with you to participate gives everybody a voice, and I love that.
It really comes down to the basic name of Whole Care Network, right? Whole care, like, and that's what we're just trying to make it what the name says it is, right? We're trying to offer that holistic picture for people. Well,
Exactly.
Lauren, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being part of Whole Care Network and Whole Care Network University. We are, really humbled to have you and your course on the site already, and I know that there's going to be more great things to come. We have so thank you so much for being here today, Lauren.
Have a great
Bye, Lauren.
weekend.
See you soon.
You too.
Yep, absolutely. Bye-bye.
Teresa, you're back.
Hello again.
Hello again. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you guys? You guys are doing an awesome job. It's
Thank you.
yeah, 2 hours straight live. It's really impressive.
Ambitious. That's what it is.
What it comes down to is you just have to, at a certain point, not care if you look silly and have almost no shame, and then you can do anything live. Pretty much. That's what I find, at least. Chris, you probably you're classier than I am.
Well, people say I look silly in a bow tie, but you can't see the bow tie. So
I love your bow tie.
It's your bow tie if you have it on.
I'm going to take just a few seconds of your time. So my birthday is tomorrow. So I'll be 66, which means I've been wearing bow ties for 26 years because I got my first bow tie on my 40th birthday.
Oh my God.
Wow.
But who's counting?
Not you.
Not me.
Wow. That is awesome.
So, Teresa, you are also an expert contributor at WCN University. You have a course up already. Would you start just by telling us a little bit you know, and you may have touched on some of these things earlier about how you came to be on this mission really to serve family caregivers.
Yes, like I said earlier, you know, so many of us, you know, we become a caregiver. It's unexpected. We don't even realize we're a caregiver. And then we're burned out. It's usually at that point we realize, oh, this is something that I need to understand better. And so it was the same for me. And, you know, I saw caregiving from a young age, but while I was caring for Dad, I'm wondering, you know, did the caregiver gene skip me? Because this is hard. And it, you know, it turns out it's just hard. And so, as I said, deconstructing the experience and figuring out, you know, how to just manage the turbulent emotions. You guys mentioned guilt. So for me, it was guilt, anger, and resentment. And they just swirled. The three of them fueled each other and fueled by fear. And Kim, I missed what you said about the three for you. Like the emotions.
I think the top three emotions of caregiving when you were talking about,
Yeah, it wasn't for me. It was when I did my research. So number 1 was isolation, number 2 was anger, and number 3 was guilt.
Okay, and see, I always said my the trifecta was guilt, anger, and resentment. So isolation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so that's when my mission began. I thought, you know, it just didn't have to be this hard, but it is. And so connecting caregivers with resources wasn't enough. I had to figure out for me how to survive the turbulent emotions, just the chaos that I felt. And these 12 sustainable caregiving strategies are how I did it. And now it's just my mission to share them with everyone.
So tell us a little bit about the course that you have available at WCN-University now. What can people expect to find in there and learn from that course?
Yeah, so the course that's up now is Prevent Burnout with Boundaries. And I've said that so frequently now I'm saying prevent boundaries with burnout, but it's definitely prevent burnout with boundaries.
I think that's true. I think you can prevent boundaries with burnout, though.
You're right. No, I know it's true, but
you want to.
Name of the course, I think you're right. And the course is designed to empower caregivers with strategies and skills just to confidently navigate their caregiving journey. And I realized that boundaries were such a big part of it, and they weren't on my radar when I began caring for Dad. You know, at work they were. You know how to set boundaries at work and in some other areas of my personal life. But with Dad, everything was so personal. And, you know, we have folks helping us manage like an intimate situation. They become, you know, it's kind of work, but it's their work, but it's this intimate caring situation. So learning how to set boundaries with all of the folks on the care team was really important. But the most important boundaries were I had to set with myself. And I had to recognize where I was trying to do too much and letting my ego get in the way of asking for help. You know, or you know, some of the things caring for Dad where, you know, I had to set boundaries around that. The emotions, how much was I willing to invest in worry about a particular thing? I needed to set boundary around worries, and mindfulness helped there. So that's where I really kind of delved into boundaries and tried to figure out what boundaries would help, and they did help. And I feel like if I had set them from the beginning, I would not have burned out. That was one of the key, you know, the superpower strategies, that mindfulness, compassion, reimagining self-care. Like those are the things that I feel like if I'd had them in place earlier, it wouldn't have slid into the flames of burnout.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate so much that you have taken from your experience and made it something that other people can learn from so that they don't slide down into burnout, so that they can set those boundaries. I mean, it's really powerful stuff. You know, we're so thrilled to have you as part of WCN-University. Would you tell us, like, what are you most excited about being a part of WCN-University?
Yes, well, the first I want to say I'm very excited. Chris, you know, I met Chris a while ago, and just his inspiration, his motivation, his heart that started Whole Care, the Whole Care Network is really what inspired me to be a part of the Whole Care Network. So I appreciate your guidance, Chris. You're in this space. You know, you are really one of the folks that I turn to when I have questions about the caregiver space, the care economy. So that is a big part of it, your passion. And then the 4 pillars. Of course, you know, it really resonates with sustainable caregiving and all that we're all trying to do. So just helping us all balance our physical, social, financial, and spiritual health.
It all connects.
It all connects. And then, like you, the 3 of you, and then all of our other instructors. I mean, and podcasters and all the folks who are part, the community that you've built is just really important for me to be part of.
Well, we're so happy that you are a part of it. Thank you for joining us again. We're like, how lucky are we? We got double Teresa Wilbanks.
That's right.
That's always a good day. Happy Friday, everyone. You got double Teresa. Thank you so much for joining us again, Teresa.
Thank you all.
All right, bye. Shay! What's up, lady?
Is it working? Hi.
It's working. It's working.
Go
Hi, Jay.
Chiefs. Hi.
So, Shay, you just have like the most fun energy. I have to say, I can't help but smile whenever you and I are chatting. But we've got tight time frame on these mini interviews, so I'm going to dive right in here. So, Shay, you are a physician. Okay, awesome. I knew you were. I knew you were, girl. So tell us a little bit. So you're a physician assistant. How did you end up kind of being called to serve caregivers in this way? Why are you on this mission?
Yes, ma'am. So I've been a PA for almost 13 years, and I've worked in so many settings across the board in medicine, inpatient, outpatient, all of the things. And I just consistently kept seeing the same thing of patients are on way too many medications, and I was trying to figure out a way to help get my elderly patients off the pills. And the best way to do that was through the caregivers, because they're the ones at all the appointments. They're the ones filling the pill boxes. They're the ones marking on the calendar when to go see each provider. So that's how I kind of got started in this caregiving world. And it has been a journey, and I'm just so excited and honored to be part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, I think, just talking about really briefly going off on a tangent, I promise, small tangent.
Keep it small.
Okay, I'll keep it small. But talking about things like polypharmacy, right? When people are on lots of different medications, that's something, I do a lot of education on fall prevention. I do speaking events about it. I have courses on it. And polypharmacy is a huge cause of falls. It really is. Mm-hmm. As an occupational therapist, though, I can't really like medications and medication, education, that's really outside of my scope of practice. It's not something that I can talk about. So it's so great to have you as part of WCNU to be talking about medications, how they should be managed, understanding them. And it's really such an important thing to empower caregivers with that knowledge so that they can be good advocates, because they want to be good advocates, but it's just about having the information.
Yeah, they need all the tools in their toolbox to go in like armed and ready. And so that was what my course includes, is scripts with how do you bring up what you discover through my course. I walk them through identifying all the red flags on med lists, making sense of it all, how to sort and analyze things, and then get their thoughts together so they can bring it to the primary care provider in a like skilled, organized way and feel confident when they're speaking to them. And I've laid it on the course that makes it very easy to understand. I don't talk over anyone's head because I know that is super frustrating. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's easy, it's relatable, it's doable, and you can figure out the medicines. You just need a little bit of guidance, and I'm your girl.
Yeah, and I think something that's cool about your course too is it's audio and downloads. Am I right?
Yes.
And so people
Yes,
can
ma'am.
Actually like listen to your course in the car.
Yes, that was the goal. I love listening to podcasts in the car. I love it doing on walks with my baby. So I wanted to be like your ear. Like, you don't need to watch me to know what I'm teaching. You can just listen to it. I make everything permanent and downloadable. So once you have access forever.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff. And there it comes with like handouts too that you can use to get yourself organized. And Shay like literally walks you through it step by step. She makes something that feels really scary and complicated actually feel very manageable and easy. So if you're caring for someone who has a ton of meds and you're like, honestly, definitely check it out. And you're offering a discount right now as we're launching the university. Is that right, Shay?
Yes, ma'am. 20 off Shay. If you give us that discount, you get 20% off. Each course, I have 2 courses, the hospital navigation course, and then I have a medication management course. So each one, or the combo, whatever y'all want. And easy to understand, downloadable worksheets, all the things.
That needs to be a meme.
I know,
I think
20
that-
off
I
Shay.
think 20 off
Shay.
Shay. I think that,
I'll tell my husband that one.
That's amazing. Maybe we can make that a meme. So what's the most exciting thing for you about being part of WCN University? Obviously, we're like thrilled that you're a part of it.
Because this is the coolest ever. How could you not love having everything in one spot? I'm a millennial. I need it all together. I want to lead me to one spot, let me click where I gotta go, and then I'm done. I don't want to search the internet for hours on end. So if I don't want to do it, neither do the caregivers. Let's put all of the boss babes and guys, all the experts in one spot. I love it. I think it's genius.
Well, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. No one has time for this, especially not family caregivers. So let's make it so it's as time efficient as possible. Let's make sure that this information is reliable. We have real experts bringing you this information. You get it all in one spot and it's on your terms. And it's a pretty simple concept, but
It's simple and genius. So bow down to y'all. Great job.
well, thank you for being a part of it. We're just super thrilled to have you be a part of Whole Care University.
Happy to be here, guys. I know you're unlimited
Thanks,
time. Find me on
thanks, Shay.
social, Elder Care Hub. Bye.
20 off Shay.
20 off Shay. 20 off Shay. I think that's a song. I think there's a song there. 20 off.
Oh
We'll
man,
work
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Bye.
By 50, 20 off Shay by 50 cents.
50 cents.
Well, isn't that there's a artist by the name of 50 Cent?
Yes, there absolutely is.
Okay, so I'm just trying to jump in as a
It's okay. I feel like
boomer
you're
millennial.
talking to
I don't know.
us the way
Maybe
that
I said the wrong thing, but maybe I should keep my mouth shut. So
Well, yeah, no, we were just talking earlier how you said legit to your kids
did.
the other day, and they were like, "What?"
What was that word that just came out of your mouth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Jeff.
Jeff, how are you? Oh, we
No.
cannot hear you. Ruh-roh.
it's technology.
Friend and foe.
I think friction's my favorite.
My favorite is gravity, actually. But yeah, put those 3 things on my tombstone.
That's your going away.
Let's see if I can help Jeff out here.
Yeah. And while you do, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to talk a little bit about Connected Caregiver while you guys are kind of sorting that out. So, Connected Caregiver, if you're not familiar with it already, you really need to be. Obviously they're sponsoring our live launch today, but the thing that you need to know about Whole Care Network is we really only want to work with people who truly have products that are unique and changing the game. So it's not like anyone could just say, "Hey, I want to sponsor you." No, that's not it at all. Every company that we work with that's part of the community has something that's really special to offer, and I think Connected Caregiver is an incredible example of that. So if you know them, then you know that they that for a long time they have offered some really incredible home monitoring equipment for physiological things, but they have upped the game with this new app that they are launching. It is so cool. You can you can really have a centralized place where the whole care circle can get everything organized. You can have your calendar organized. You can have your medicine organized. You can have a central place to communicate. And I'm not even doing it justice. And I want Jeff to be able to talk here so he can share more about it. No.
So, Jeff, at the bottom of the screen, you should see an icon for you see that the icon, the microphone icon. Do a right click on that, and does it match up with the? You're on a laptop or a desktop? laptop. So is the microphone matching up with your the microphone on Riverside? Is it matching up with your microphone on the? Okay.
Question for you, because sometimes when this has happened for me, is it possible that it's linked to a Bluetooth headset anywhere? No. Yep.
Yeah, this is gonna fix it.
It's okay. Popping out and coming back in is the same thing as like unplugging and plugging something back in.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Totally.
works.
It does. I've been in and out like 12 times during this.
We've
So
noticed.
I know. I'm sorry. I had some issues at the beginning, and I had to like restart everything. And I was just glad it wasn't when I was when I was
we
supposed
were
to be
thinking
talking.
you were attending to your friend in the seat behind you.
Not currently.
Not-
To be transferred just yet.
not to be transferred.
I'm not intending to do any live transfers today. Maybe another time. Join. Actually, so one of the things that can be done via the family resource community is we can host live events within that family resource community, and I fully intend to be one of the featured experts in one of those monthly things, and we can actually literally go. I have, if you can see here, it's kind of messy. I have a whole like training studio behind me with a bunch of different equipment, so it's really cool because I can actually get up and do real demonstrations, show people how things should be done, talk through equipment, talk through different scenarios. So that's absolutely something that we're going to be doing.
How's that?
Yay!
Wow. I even tried. I tried logging on, but way in advance of the actual meeting to see if you could hear me.
Well, it's okay.
Technology.
Problem solved.
But I appreciate the full infomercial, Emilia. That was awesome.
It's not an infomercial. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
you know how
do.
crazy amazing
Yeah.
I think this is. Okay, so let's jump in, because I want you to be able to talk about this some, though. So this really is a groundbreaking app. It allows family caregivers to organize, to communicate, and to coordinate care for their loved one in one place. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the app and how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let me first give you a real quick history on it. I mean, when we started developing this 2 years ago, the first thing we did is we talked to family caregivers and their senior loved ones. And it became very clear that the family caregivers feel an enormous responsibility for taking care of the health and safety of their loved ones. And when they first it probably never goes away, but especially when they first become a family caregiver, there's this feeling of things are out of control. I got my own kids. I'm probably working and I've now got to take care of mom or dad. And that's kind of where we started listening and hearing the common things that you were mentioning, Emilia, right? Like, how do I organize my care circle, the people that are helping me out? How do I keep records of medications, of doctor visits, of insurance cards? And we conceived of something that within Connected Caregiver called Care Essentials. That's our app that you can download. And it's got all of that in there for family caregivers. It's $10 a month. First 2 months are free for the intro period, which is going on right now. And as you mentioned, you do have the ability over time, as needs change, to monitor vitals like blood pressure or weight. We're also a licensed PERS dealer, personal emergency response, which is an emergency button with fall detection. We also have geolocation and GPS. So we're really trying to we found it's a lot of things that people cobble together on their own. They might be communicating with the care circle through an email group or a text group, and things just get jumbled up with life. So we said, let's put all things mom's care in one spot, and that's Connected Caregiver.
So one of the things that I think has made this app so powerful is that you developed it based on listening to what family caregivers were telling you. Did you guys do?
Thoughtful.
Yeah, it was very, very, very thoughtful. And is that really how you decided to include, all of the different features that you have in here?
Yeah, we did. I think you guys, the three of you in particular, you've been on the longer journey with us, and our parent company is called Veristat and does a very specific thing, which is vitals monitoring between doctors and patients. So our initial thought was, well, let's just take that and bring it over to family caregivers because they want to know mom's blood pressure or weight or whatever that might be. And we quickly found that while that might be true, there's a whole host of other things that that they care about, and that can be helpful. And when we first started, to be honest, when we first started off with this project, it was just going to be remote patient monitoring, remote vitals monitoring. And if that were the case, we would have launched a year ago. But we've spent the last year developing the app, hiring our own developers, and building out everything that can really help a much broader population of family caregivers. So, and my background is, I think I told you guys, my background is consumer products. I used to run Cheerios for General Mills, and it's drilled into me, like, you start with the consumer need, and then you build from there. And that's really what we've done with Connected.
It's so evident.
It does show.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. So how can? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to
jump
say,
in.
awesome. I know we had a late start here, and somebody's about to jump on. To get it, you can go to Google Play. You can go to the Apple App Store, search on Connected Caregiver. You'll see for both of those, there's a free 2 months initial trial. You can cancel after that. Otherwise, it'll be $10 a month going forward.
Which is
Just
so
the primary,
accessible.
only one
It's
person
so-
has to pay, primary caregiver.
Right.
Anybody else can, sisters, brothers, whatever, can join and be part of that care circle, and there's no additional cost.
Wow.
So Jeff, I just took my blood pressure with the monitor that you sent, and I'm at 107/61.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
which,
nice and
which,
calm.
which is amazing considering I can't get the LinkedIn to work, and I've got my oxidation level. And
Yeah.
what's so great about this, and I've seen the stages with the app and how it's changed. It automatically populates right to the app. You get your results immediately, and that is, like for myself with atrial fibrillation, having able to have this information right at my fingertips when I go to the doctor. That is it is so valuable. And I think back to when we were in the midst of caregiving with Richard. He would every morning he'd take his blood pressure, but he'd be writing it down into the calendar. And now you've created something because you've listened to caregivers and they're
got a digital record. Absolutely.
You got a digital record.
Absolutely.
And we're just really thrilled that we've kind of walked this path with you as I guess as almost a year and a half ago when we first
happy to be a part of the Whole Care Network, masterminds, all that good stuff. Look forward to seeing what
more good things to come.
The to-do list function, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
thing,
really
like,
good.
For a logistics organizing person and in care, when that's exactly how I function, is like just tell me what to do and when to do it, and I can check it off. Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Clearly, we could talk about Connected Caregiver all day, but we're gonna say goodbye just for now. You'll be back, I'm sure.
And now we're gonna move to yoga.
See y'all.
Yes, we are.
Hey, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Bye.
Hello, Ellen. Oh, hey, real quick. Hey, Kim, would you mind? While we're talking to Ellen here, would you reach out to Sabrina because I know she's. Oh,
I am.
See, you're so great. Hello, Ellen. How are you?
I'm doing great today. How are you all?
We are awesome. This is so much fun to be getting to talk to everyone. Thank you for being here, and thank you, of course, for being part of Whole Care Network and WCN-University. We're going to jump right in, and I'm going to ask you how. So you are a real deal yoga instructor. How did you come to be serving caregivers as part of your mission?
Sure. Well, I have a degree in social work, and I've been a yoga teacher for the last 15 years. I was a caregiver to both of my parents, and our founder at Yoga for Caregivers, Jen Hennius, she just happened to find me through Facebook, and we connected, and we really wanted to support caregivers during the pandemic. That was our big push to get out there because caregiving is already isolating and lonely. And during the pandemic, you had even less resources, even less help. So we really wanted to be there to support you in dealing with chronic stress that happens to a lot of caregivers.
Yeah, and I have to say, from personal experience, and I just want to acknowledge, hey, Sabrina and Nicole, we had a couple tech difficulties earlier, so our schedule is a little wonky, but thank you for hanging in there with us. for me personally, when I started practicing yoga, that was life changing for me in terms of how I was managing my own stress and how I was starting my days. And it's just like, you do a little bit of yoga and it's just like, just exhaling everything. It's kind of magic. So when we met about you and Jennifer possibly joining WCN-University, I was like, because it's so great. It's so amazing. Would you talk a little bit about, so you do have a course available on the site right now. Would you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Our course is called Yoga to Cultivate Resilience. And really what it means is learning how to bounce back. So the body's meant to deal with stress. Like, we go up and down. It's just normal. That's kind of how we were built, which is great. But unfortunately, when we deal with chronic stress, we just kind of take this stress up and up and up, and we don't ever get the opportunity to relax our whole system. And if we can't relax our whole system, then we end up dealing with other issues long term, like issues with sleep, digestion, depression, anxiety, all those fun things, right? And as a caregiver, you've kind of got your own stuff, and then whoever you're caring for, right? Even if that's multiple people, that's even more on top. So our course it's an 8-session course, and we deal with all different kinds of tips and tricks to help you deal with that chronic stress, to relieve that stress, that tension in the physical body, in the mind. We do some breathing techniques. We have a whole session just for sleep, some different movements, some different breathing techniques, some different meditations. So it's kind of a whole body system way of helping you just to relax a bit so we can get our system balanced.
Yeah, and I love that because here and here are like, you cannot actually separate those two things. So we don't just have to do the work up here, we also need to do the work in our bodies in order to help manage that. And I think your course does such a beautiful job of that. So thank you for bringing your expertise to Whole Care Network University. Real fast before we finish, what is the most exciting thing to you about being part of WCN University?
I'm just excited to be a part of a place for caregivers that they can get everything they need at the same time. Because as we all know, caregivers have like this much time. So when they actually have an opportunity to reach out and maybe find support, going from one spot to another to find that support can take up all the limited time that they actually have. So we're excited to just be a part of this great community and here to really lift up caregivers because they really need as much support as they can. And also I wanted to add that we've got a discount too on our course. It's just 40 off yoga, 40 off yoga, 40% off, and just start to relax a little bit. Take a little time for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Really.
I'm in.
I want to go do it right now. I'm going to do my Shavasana just on the rug back here for a while, guys.
You want to take one breath together?
Oh, yes. Let's all take a breath together. Ready?
Bring your shoulders to your ears. And then let it go.
Nice.
Good
so
job.
Magical. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Ellen. We'll see you again soon, I'm sure.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I won't lie. I'm not entirely sure how to manage
I think
this current situation.
Sabrina Nicole Sue. Right?
Okay, yeah. All right, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello. You know I love you so much. So Sabrina, I mean, if you haven't heard Sabrina, if you've never seen Sabrina, talked to Sabrina, heard Sabrina's story, like, congratulations. She's a great person to know about. Would you just tell us, as I have been asking everyone, how did you come to be on this mission to serve family caregivers?
Yes.
And thank you for your patience today.
You're very welcome. It's definitely been a mission. I like to joke that my life is like a Lifetime movie that even Lifetime wouldn't want because it's that dramatic. My dad was diagnosed with ALS in 2017, passed away less than 2 years later. Less than 2 years after my dad passed away, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. And from surgery, 12 rounds of chemo, and 5 rounds of radiation. She's been in remission for over a year now, so she is doing great. But as a family, we went through a very bad snowball effect of, if it's going to happen to you, it will. And about a year after my dad passed away, so before my mom even was sick, I had this moment of really feeling that we went through everything for a reason and made so many mistakes along the way. There were so many things that I learned about after that I wish we would have known about when we were going through things. And so I had that light bulb moment of really wanting to take everything that we went through, everything we learned, and help people along their journey in whatever way, shape, or form they have a journey. I think we're in this like pivotal point of now where younger people are getting diagnosed with crazier things. We're seeing a lot of twists and turns when it comes to diagnosis. So I really felt very alone in the caregiver community when my dad was diagnosed. I was in my late 20s, a mom of a toddler. I was pregnant with my second son, and I didn't feel like I fit. I didn't fit with the caregiving resources that were available online. I didn't fit in with my friends because nobody else that I know has a dying dad and a toddler.
Or they were too scared. They didn't know what to tell you. They were too scared to even talk to you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You kind of become like this like black hole where people are afraid to ask. They don't know what to say. So, everyone just avoids everyone. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to become the person that I so desperately wanted in those moments. And, from there, it's just kind of really spiraled. And by helping others, I've really found that I'm helping myself as well. Mm-hmm. And I have Sabrina's Squad, which is a community, and part of what I put out there in the community is that I am also going through all of this as well. That while I might have, a few years under my belt in different things, I'm still going through things. I'm still bringing up the emotions that I pushed down for a very long time. And I'm excited to get to not only help people in ways that I wanted and needed help myself, but to also work together to help and heal each other, help each other understand, different parts of this caregiving world. It's a huge world that everybody goes through at different times, different rates, things like that.
And the way that people can interact with you on WCN-University is a little bit different from other stuff. So we have a lot of courses on the site. You, though, have a community, which is a little bit different. Tell us a little bit about the resources that people can expect if they, join Sabrina's Squad in your community.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, it's a safe space. What you bring to the community is something that I want people to be very open and honest, and that's something that I try and put out there as well myself, is being open and honest. There are very highs of highs and very lows of lows, but I am a very strong believer in everything. There's a beautiful outlook to it, and that's what I really like to help people see is the beautiful, I like to say now, like the beauty in the beast, because there's a really beautiful thing that comes from caring and the connections, the conversations and things like that you can have. And I don't want people to miss out on finding that because of the doom and gloom that surrounds their everyday life. So with Sabrina's Squad, then I bring in different spaces of different tips and tricks. I'm a huge fan of TikTok, so I just, as a viewer, I'm not making videos, but anytime I find like a fun,
I don't understand the TikTok. I can't do it.
Don't start. If you have,
I know I have a TikTok account, but I'm like, honestly, I'm bad at it. Really bad.
I get lost in it. But the great thing is there's so many great people on there that are going through crazy things, that are posting this, what they've learned and done. So I'm really trying to give people, tips and tricks of different things, terminology that we can all understand, a place to share their stories, different resources when it comes to, books, podcasts, especially when it comes to the end of life aspect of care, and really just kind of helping them see and be guided through whatever life transition they're going through right now.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being part of Whole Care Network University. I know that you have like some really unique insights and resources. I know you've been working really hard on that community to make sure that it's got valuable stuff in there, right, starting from day one. So thank you so much for spending your time and effort and energy on this and being part of this community. We're
Thank
really
you.
delighted to have you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you guys
Sabrina.
for allowing me and all of the great things that you guys are doing. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
All right,
too.
thanks, Sabrina. Hey, Nicole, and I want to thank you too, Nicole, for your patience as we kind of navigate this. Live is, you know,
Well, I
friend and foe.
as a caregiver, if you're going to get worked over tech issues, you've got larger fish to fry.
That's there you go. That's a good way to look at it. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today, though. Would you tell us a little bit about, you know, your story, how you came to be on your mission to serve caregivers?
Certainly. First, I just want to say hi, Chris. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you guys.
Hey.
I knowingly started my journey 14 years ago when my second child, my daughter, was born. She has a rare genetic disease and autism. And, at the beginning, as many caregivers can relate, you're just kind of in shock, like, oh, didn't see this coming. This wasn't expected. And then you go into the let's fix it mode. What do I need to do? How can I best support my daughter? At the time it was, she learned to walk at 2.5. And then it was, okay, now we need to get her into OT so she can hold a spoon and put on socks. And it was 5 years into that journey when I kind of hit the wall. Being a full working, being a mom to an energetic, 3-year-old boy, and then managing my daughter's medical appointments, therapies, etc. I had forgotten myself, as everyone can relate. And it was also, me ignoring all of the signals my body was sending. Our body is always talking to us. But when we get busy and distracted, we just ignore it. And so just the knock at the door got really, really loud, and I ended up in emergency. So it was kind of the ride in the ambulance, because I had a full-on panic attack where it hurt to breathe. And I think, as anybody can appreciate, when it hurts to grasp for air, it's very startling. So I was very fortunate that it wasn't a full-on attack, or I didn't have a heart attack, but it was a ride to the ambulance where I thought, oh my gosh, I am 5 years into a lifelong journey, and that's what really scared me. So as a parent caregiver, it is not a marathon, it is an ultra marathon that lasts decades. That was the moment when I'm like, okay, I have to put my first, so I can be a better caregiver to everyone, show up as the best version of myself in every role, because I'm more than a caregiver. And then when I fell in love with feeling better and seeing the results, I have more patience for my son. I have a little more patience with my daughter. I'm actually a better wife. That's when it was a nice, they say the circle, like it was positive, the cumulative effect of small changes on a daily basis. And then I just started sharing it, because once I had made a small shift and a pivot, I could look around and I thought, sugar. I could then see the other people who used to be where I was, and how badly they were just looking for some sort of help, but were too scared, too afraid to ask for it. And so that's where my passion for helping other caregivers, and I realized as well that I also shifted from, this isn't a life sentence, I used to think I was punished for all of my past bad deeds, to say, no, actually, my mission is to choose happiness despite my circumstances, and then let other caregivers know, like parents, we are allowed to have a meaningful life. Even
and I
when,
think, I could just listen to you talk forever. But I'm so thankful to have you as part of WCN-University, because you do offer a perspective that I think, at least at this point, our other contributors, myself included, can't offer, which is that of being a parent caregiver. And there are unique things about that journey, and it's I'm so thankful to you for helping to bring that perspective to the site, and I'm hoping it's something that we can really bring more people on to support more of as well. Now, you don't have any courses up on the site yet,
No,
but what should people be looking out for from you?
Mm-hmm. So I do have a 8-week kind of intro to self-care course that will be coming. I'm a certified meditation teacher. I studied with Chopra meditation, and so we'll be doing some meditations, making everything accessible. So in all of the work that I do in supporting caregivers, it's really about removing the barriers and the stories that we tell ourselves of why we can't find the time to do self-care or can't even find the time to do anything that brings us joy. And I think that's a clarification for me. Self-care is anything that brings us joy. So it's really simplifying things so people can go, oh, I think I can do that. Wow, I've been making this a lot harder than I realized. And then we get to laugh at ourselves and, in a really like self-compassionate way and like, okay, I think I can do this. And okay, if she's doing it and other people are doing it, I think I might give it a try. And so everything on the website will be really, I say, breadcrumbs. We spoke earlier, I was like, it used to be bite-sized pieces. And the feedback from caregivers was like, oh, they don't even have time for the bite size. So let's really break it down and make it so easy for them, because they need to be spending their time on, I say more important, but on caring for a loved one. So I'm just really here to say, here's the buffet of ways that you can add.
Well, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much for being a part of WCN-University. We are so excited and honored to have you as part of it, and I cannot wait for your content to be up on there where people can access it. Definitely make sure you're following Whole Care Network. Make sure join, if you're a family caregiver, join us as a family resource community member, and that's going to be the best way that you can get updates on new information, new courses coming out. And of course, even for folks who maybe don't have their courses or communities or other content up yet, you can still interact with those people via the family resource community, come to live events, things like that. So definitely that's the best way to make sure you're getting access to all of those things ASAP. Nicole, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you again for your patience.
No worries.
And we'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Sue, thank you for your patience.
You're very welcome. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so proud of you guys and everything that you're doing and everything you're doing for the caregiving community.
Well, right back at you. Thank you so much for being here. I know you've been waiting for a while and you've been extremely patient, so I want to really, get into the meat and potatoes of your story. How did you come to serve this mission of wanting to serve family caregivers?
Sure. I've been a family caregiver for the past 40 years. I've been on a variety of different roles of caregiving support for different family members and loved ones, and I'm currently on one with my husband. And I've recognized over the years that if you keep getting put into something, then you either take it and absorb it and do nothing with it, or you help others. And so many people over the last 40 years have leaned in to help me. I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything I possibly could to make other people's journeys easier than mine had been, and also to pay forward all the support that people have given and continue to give me over the years.
That's so... When you and I first met, I just knew that you needed to be part of WCN-University. You have this incredible, it's not just your experience as a caregiver, but it's also the perspective you bring to it. And I think that I'll let you talk more about that, because I think in kind of the courses that you're going to be offering, that's one of the most powerful things that you talk about, right?
It is. I have a very positive perspective on caregiving, not Pollyanna, not pink glasses, very realistic, but during my caregiving experience, something was revealed to me, which is massive acceptance and radical presence. So in caregiving, as well as everything in my life, I accept exactly what is, whether I like it, understand it, agree with it, or anything. And I stay fully present in the moment so I can make the wisest choices, and I can also enjoy the tiniest moments that bring some pleasure. And so everything I talk about in and the course that I have that I'll be putting up on the Whole Care Network is called The Caregiver's Journey. What a great name. Is it walks you through the whole caregiving journey from when you see it on the horizon or there's all of a sudden a diagnosis through moving forward after the caregiving journey is finished. And I do it all from the place of how do you understand yourself in the most meaningful way so your personality supports you and you understand how to deal with stress and you take care of yourself, to all the different things that go through the different phases of the journey, and yet also to see the potential and possibilities and the lessons that are in there for us so the journey is not just happening to us.
So, we are so excited to have you be a part of Whole Care Network University. What, on the other hand, though, what drew you to WCN University? What makes you excited about being part of this group as well?
The things that make me the most excited are that we're bringing together a collective of great passions, great hearts, and great minds that are all collectively looking at what's the very best that we can provide for caregivers and care receivers. So wherever their heart has led them, whether it was like Jeff or it's Paula and technology and the application of that, or whether it's how to do yoga, or it's something that you're doing of learning like I've got it, what anybody has. We all see it. And Kimberly with the finances of it, these huge things that are all part of it, it's bigger than any of us, but as a collective, it's such a powerful way for caregivers to know they'll never be alone. The resources that are available, there are a variety of different solutions available, and everybody is making them so easy to get to. They're not expensive, and they're easy to understand what they are, and there's a variety of them that you guys are making available. So it's a hub. It's a one place for people to come and go, instead of going, I don't know what it is, I don't know, they have a lot of that in the same place.
And
I love that.
Well, and the other thing, and because we talked about it a lot, is that's so important is that we make sure that the information that we're providing to people is reliable, right?
Yes.
We don't want people to have to double and triple check things. We really just want to make it easy and accessible and reliable, actionable information for them. And I know that I can't wait for your course to be available on the site. I know it's going to help so many people. And y'all, again, the best way to get notifications about it is to make sure that you are joining the family resource community. So that way you will get like instant notification when Sue's course and other courses and communities become available. So we hope to see you there, family caregivers.
I have a secret, though, I want to share. Sue's going to have a podcast on the Whole Care Network, too.
What?
Oh, man.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
I'm very excited about it.
I'm just sharing some inside information here. So it's just,
and I have a secret, too, that Chris is in my course. when you want to have the experts, you go to the experts. And so I invited him to share in the course. And I'm incredibly grateful that you would, Chris.
Oh.
It's all about helping.
I want to compliment you, Sue, before you have to go. You definitely walk the walk of what you are putting out there in the world. And I have engaged with you virtually multiple times, in person once, and you do have this sense of extreme presentness where you're just in the moment that you're in, and it definitely leaves me feeling like you're such a strong person, like it gives you strength. And so I can see what you're going to give family caregivers that are going through a journey that often doesn't feel like there's a lot of time to be present. And I can't wait for you to share that, because you exude it and you exist in the world like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That fills my heart. I appreciate it.
Well,
Now go do the other stuff you need to do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Two at one. All right, we're here. Thank you so very much for all you're doing. I am so grateful to be part of it. See you
thank
later.
you, Sue. We're grateful to have you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, Paula. Thank you for your patience.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear
wonderful,
you just fine.
Wonderful. So everything is working perfectly.
I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt. I'm going to call my sister on my sociology. Okay, when it calls.
Aww.
It's so easy. All I got to
so
do is
easy.
touch the button,
so
and it's like the easiest thing in the whole wide world. So,
Yeah. So this is.
Go ahead. Continue.
This is some pretty cool stuff here, honestly.
Because it's like, oh my God, you can just kind of like open it, and magically it connects to the internet, and you just I could do my brain games too.
Like,
so.
honestly, as an occupational therapist, and something like, there are a lot of different features of this, and my brain was just all over the place in terms of seeing, like, bam, this would be great for this, bam, this would be great for this. So let's talk a little bit about it now. So we'll get to talk a little bit about what Sociavi is, but first, would you tell us kind of, briefly, what inspired you to create Sociavi?
Yes, thank you, Emilia. Basically, it was the realization, thinking about my grandmother. She grew up in a time of many technological changes, talking about no light to electricity in the countryside where she grew up, to airplanes, car, you name it. But airplanes, but computers definitely was not something that she experienced. And even the phone, the most that she knew about was a cord phone, so not the cordless, but something that you have a very long cord. So I realized that those older adults, and even though the persons living with diseases, multiple sclerosis, and even dementia, mainstream technology is not helping them. It's not suited for them. With all the advances of technology, still they are not being able to use those tools. I'm lonely and isolated. So my mission was, how can, with my knowledge, with my experience, build a device that would allow them to stay connected with their loved ones and be integrated into this communication era where the families are distributed. I'm originally from Chile. My parents are still in Chile. My in-laws are in Switzerland. So we are distributed. So my mission and my goal was building something that is simple for them to use and bring them back into the connection, into the community, and be part of what we're all interchanging, because they want to be connected with the rest of their family.
One of the things that I think is so cool, and like I said, there are lots of features that Sociavi has, but I think my favorite is just the fact that you can set it up wherever it needs to be for your loved one. It could be if they live in long-term care or memory care or something like that. You could literally put it at their bedside so you can interact with them at any time. Or maybe they live at home, but they don't have to do anything for that interaction to take place. Literally, you just initiate that video phone call, and there you are, and you can see what's going on. You can have peace of mind. You can have a conversation and really know what's going on, as opposed to, like, sometimes you call on the phone, maybe they don't hear it. Maybe they can't get to the phone. Who knows? You can literally have eyes on that situation without the person that you're trying to communicate with needing to do anything at all. And I think that is, like, crazy valuable. Do you have any stories of people using Sociavi that really stand out to you?
Yes, I have many, and that's really the portion that fills my energy and keep me going, because one gentleman, for example, he's caring for who has Parkinson, and he told me, we have tried so many other tools and nothing are working, but it's very good to us, and it's the only way that I have to stay in touch with my wife in a rehabilitation center. Another gentleman, a son, he told me, my 102 years old mom is still using Sociavi very happily and being connected with her family all across the US. So things like that are really very rewarding, because people come to me, come to many times after tools, and that didn't work for them.
Trying to walk grandma through using FaceTime from a separate phone.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't. No.
No, thank you.
No. How about just, like, have it set up, just initiate the call, and there you go. And it really is as simple as that. And of course, like I said, there are lots of other features and tools that it has as well. How can people find out more about Sociavi and start using Sociavi?
So the website, that's the hub where they get all the information, the contact information, and right there they can purchase, and we ship the unit already pre-configured for them, ready to start using it and be ready to connect. Thank you.
Chris is pointing at his right
This
there.
is- yeah.
Like
Just-
literally it shows up ready to go.
Just plug it in.
It's ready to go.
Just
yes.
plug it in. Just
Yes.
I mean, I mean, we're pretty tech savvy, but I feel like I just want that anyway, so I don't have to deal with like logins and passwords.
I bet you I could have got LinkedIn to work on this live stream.
Oh,
on
probably,
social-
yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much. This is
Paula,
awesome.
you are. I'm sending you a big hug through the phone.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for
Thank you
all
for
of
your
you.
tremendous work and your friendship and kindness,
Yeah,
and thanks for
thank
being
you.
one of our co-sponsors today.
Yes, thank you so much for that, and for giving us the opportunity to talk about this like really, really genuinely, I think, groundbreaking product that can really help
Thank
people
you.
in some meaningful
Thank
ways.
you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate all your support and being part of this whole new movement, the whole care network all together. Thank you.
Yay! It's a round
Thanks,
of
Paula.
applause.
Bye.
All right, thanks, Paula. Bye.
Bye.
Goodness gracious, St. Ignatius, we've had quite an afternoon here, morning and afternoon.
Hours.
Well, we didn't hear you that first
Oh,
part.
sorry. I was like, that was a fast 2 hours.
It was a fast 2 hours.
It
but,
was
you
fast.
Yeah.
Before we go, somebody needs a little airtime, and that's you, Kimberly.
Oh, that's true.
I have enjoyed my background work, putting the links in, making sure everyone gets to access the amazing things we talked about. And I'm sure lots of people need to go because it's been over 2 hours, but at least we can capture this and put it out there to the world. We've talked a lot about the things that we're putting out facing the family caregivers, which is beautiful, and the stories and the education that are going out there. And we have 3 big things that we want to give to family caregivers. We want to give them trusted resources, reliable information, and authentic stories. And I think with the beautiful brains that we have as part of the network, that's definitely going to happen in different ways, different modalities, however you like to consume information. But we have another part of the whole care network that faces a completely different population, and that is the leaders. So all these people that came and joined us over the past 2 hours, they are leaders in the care economy. They're experts on different aspects of care. And last November, I pulled a lot of them together into a live event. So for 3 days, we spent time together at the Care Colloquium, and we committed to each other that we were going to collaborate, that we were going to work together to do amazing things and solve big care challenges. And that's when the 3 of us were like, we can figure out how to do that. We can make that collaboration a thing. And so we also want to be there for them. And one way is we give them a modality to put their work out in the world in a way that they can shine best. And that might be by making a podcast. That might be by creating a course that's on Whole Care Network University. That also could be writing blogs. You know, we have writers, we have authors, we have course creators, and we have podcasters, and now they have a space to do all those things.
And we have speakers too. We have people who are amazing speakers.
Yeah. So if you are a leader in the care economy and you want to collaborate with us, because the new Whole Care Network is where the care economy is collaborating, come join us because we want to support you. To solve these big challenges, one of the things that we're doing is we're starting masterminds. So these are groups of people that want to solve a common challenge. And we are starting the marketing mastermind next week with its first meeting. And this is a group of us leaders that are like, you know what, getting the amazing work that we do out to the people that we created it for it's hard. It's been an extreme challenge. And so we want to put our heads together and figure out some real marketing solutions with the focus of collaborative marketing, so that we can share that with everybody else. And so that one is starting. Right after it, we're kicking off the Employee Benefits Mastermind. So those of us that want to put our work into that space, and be a benefit to employees. We can figure out how to do that really thoughtfully and meaningfully. And then after that, we're kicking off our third mastermind, which is advocacy in the care economy, because so many of us that are leaders have a passion for just advocating for more like social reform and legislation and policy that will actually change what care looks like for people. So if you want to be a part of those masterminds, we're sharing the link too. Like we said, we have amazing authors that are a part of our leaders, our collaborators, and we want to help you. We want to highlight your book and tell people about your work, as well as if that's something that's always been a dream of yours, we want to help you do that. So if you want to be an author, we can give you some consultation and some help and some mentorship on how to get that pen to the paper and get that book out there, because we need more books focused on caregiving.
Right, and we'll be collaborating with Kathy Davis from Davis Creative out of St. Louis. I've known Kathy for years. She will help all of our budding authors with not only publication, but the nitty gritty on how to get your thoughts to paper. So it's another one of these relationships that we're building across.
That's right.
Across the
Collaborating to
network.
make collaborations
Collaborating.
happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like that.
And
Collaborating
Emilia
to make. I
That's
like
right.
that.
C squared. Right?
See, oh, don't start doing algebra.
Man.
Oh, no, oh my God. C squared.
Yeah, C squared.
My.
We do have, I feel like everyone who's in the network is also a speaker. And so it was
Right.
important for us twofold. We wanted to make sure we were supporting people who want to put themselves out there as speakers, but also we shouldn't just be looking for conferences that focus on caregiving. Like, we should look for conferences that don't necessarily have those topics, but we should be kicking people out
Yes.
that talk about it.
Yes.
Talk about it.
Because it has to be part of the conversation, because
Yeah.
no matter who you are, you will be in this role someday.
That's
You
right.
will.
Yeah. So we should be.
And
you
it
know, in
impacts the
conference-
economy. It
It
impacts
does.
everybody's economy.
It
And I
does.
think one of the things that's changed here over the years is once the decision makers, the lawmakers, people in authority, they recognize that, oh, this social issue has a financial impact.
Right. It has impact on well-being. It has an impact
and well-
on. Yes. Yeah.
And that's why we're seeing change.
Yeah.
And we want to be the conduit to that.
We want to help with that. Yeah. So the Speakers Bureau, when you become a member, you're automatically in. You're on the bureau list. What we do behind the scenes is we look for those conferences. We build an event calendar where we can tell everybody that these are places that are coming up, and then we look for calls for proposals to get the word out to our people, our members on the bureau, to say, like, is anyone interested in going here? We've already had a couple conferences reach out to us and ask, like, we're looking for keynote speakers, and we're like, we have
Right.
some people in mind
We have
for
people.
you.
Yeah.
So it's working already, which is fantastic. And that one was specifically for nurses, and they were looking for topics on care. So that's one. It made my heart very happy to see that. I do want to let our members know that, like, we need blog content, because another way that people like to consume information is to read. And so we are really asking for you to pitch to us to build some blog content, because you have amazing things inside your brain. Let's get it out in a little bit of paper, right? Electronic paper. We also ask people to let us know when you want to collaborate with others. So we actually have a way for you to tell us that you have a collaboration, a call for collaboration, to say, I have this project I'm working on, I'm looking for collaborators, and that gives us an easy way to work together. So there's just a lot there. I promised these leaders that we would give them a space that would make it easy to work together, give them the help that they need, and all in very thoughtful and accessible ways, because 95% of them are small businesses, solopreneurs, and startups. So we made it super easy to access and very accessible, so you're not going to find other opportunities as cheaply as we've laid out, right?
Yeah. There's an incredible amount of value there. And I think it really, at the end of the day, it all goes back to this idea that we're all stronger together. It's about community. It's about collaboration. You know, what we have done here which seems kind of crazy that what we have done and what we are doing, because everything is always an ongoing product. Like we're in process. We're never finished with these things, right? But we have created those spaces where we can come together and work as a community. And what seems like an impossible task for one person, if you're one person, it can be hard to even pick up a wheelbarrow and move it. But if we all come together, like, we can move a mountain. And I really, really believe that. And that's what we're doing, and that's what we are going to do. So come and join us.
Look what 3 people built in, 6 weeks? We did it, right?
Well, I mean, we had been like brainstorming this for a long time. But yeah, when we decided to do it, we did it fast. Yeah,
we put our fingers to the keys. I want to make sure I talk about Connected Caregiver and Sociavi one more time, because you each got a call out, and I want to do mine too. As everyone learned today, Connected Caregiver app launched this week, today, on a beautiful day, National Caregivers Day. The app is all about keeping you in the know and making sure that care is more organized and a more connected experience. So many of us need that. Connected Caregiver is also a great resource site. We didn't talk about that until now. They have a beautiful blog site with lots of wonderful information. So you should also check their link out for their resources. Don't forget that for a limited time, you get 2 months of their app for free. It's a no-brainer. Just download it, check it out. Once you start using it, I bet you're going to find out that you don't want to live without it. And then Sociavi with Paula, how amazing is it to connect generations within a family as easily as she has developed that to be? And that can be connection anywhere in the world, like across the globe, which is incredible.
Yeah.
We love how simple her device is to use, and it's simple for both the family caregiver as well as that aging loved one. I know in our household we get calls frequently that like the iPhone has crashed or the iPad has messed up from our aging loved ones, and it's so nice to have a device where you know that will never happen. Paula puts her heart and soul into creating Sociavi, and we want everyone to go check them out and grab a device for your loved one today.
Very good. What a wonderful
It all.
live stream event we've had. A little technological issues, but I'm sure we're going to be doing this again. And goodness, Kimberly, Emilia.
Listen, people. Hey, this is the we're wrapping up this live stream, but there's going to be more coming at you. We're going to be sharing bits and pieces of this so people can continue to get the information. We understand that very few folks would be able to tune into a 2-hour live stream. So we're going to be sending out bits and pieces so people can still get information. We're going to have, we couldn't feature all of our experts here today from Whole Care Network University. So we're going to still be sending out those many interviews. So make sure that you're following WCN. Make sure you're following Whole Care Network. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook, follow on LinkedIn, so that you're getting that information when it comes out, and you can meet the rest of our experts. We're not done. This is just the beginning.
This was the launch.
This was the launch. That's because on the Whole Care Network, this is where the care economy collaborates, and it's through story sharing where diversity meets the road to collaborate on a common cause. We'll be seeing you all again real soon.
Bye.
Okay, let's see, I've got... Okay, I know it's off on...
Are we live? Are we not? Are we live? Are we not?
Well,
should we all just hang up?
Because I can't tell. So let's just hang up.
Okay, let's just. I could go work with the dummy. Well, but yeah,
we're still live, by the way.
Yeah.
It's still. I just turned it
Okay.
off on Facebook. I turned it off on
Okay.
LinkedIn. Not on LinkedIn.
We can hang up. How about?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye.